Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Global Truth Center, Toronto, and wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in this morning, and whether you are watching us live or in the archives. Our theme last Sunday of the month, our theme for the month of August is soaking up your good, being that receptive, awesome, expansive equivalency of receiving all the good that you deserve to have in your life. And as Ernest Holmes said, life is not just something to be endured, it is to be lived in joy in a fullness without limit. Our vision statement to support us in soaking up our good is love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. And we come together each week to be reminded of this, to be reminded that there is a creative, indestructible, absolute, and self existent cause back of all of life, that we recognize we are the infinite self knowingness of creative energy. And within every human being, is the capacity to bring forth into the world of form the abundance of every good thing we desire. When we go deep into our soul and tap into that infinite love within, then we can create what our heart truly desires. The whole universe is based upon love, and therefore we can use this energy individually and collectively to recognize we're a part of something greater than ourselves, to recognize that we have this powerful capacity to heal not only ourselves, others. And I'm just going to say, as an aside, I was watching a brilliant TED Talk on the power of healing ourselves and others. And from a scientific perspective, she was talking about when someone is part of something and then maybe they're ousted and they're feeling emotional pain, that there is no difference in our brain and our emotional centers between feeling emotional pain and physical pain. And when somebody else comes along and offers up that energy of love and compassion for that person, their brain receives that energy and it lessens the pain receptors. So I'm going to have you in this moment put your hands over your heart, breathe in, and think of someone you know that is in pain or yourself, and send love, compassion, and healing energy. Send it out to that person or send it to yourself. Knowing that it is received, this healing energy. We are powerful healers, and we are here to heal ourselves and others. Breathing in, feeling all that energy in your heart space, and then sending it out. And so it is. So yes, let us receive. Let us receive our good this morning and in each and every moment of our day today and beyond, of course. With us today to support us in all of this is our beautiful, beautiful guest musician who thought last Sunday was his last Sunday with me. Ha ha. Not so. We have Nathan Aswell with us, and our practitioner of the day is Judy Southern. I'm going to invite Nathan in for our opening song. Good morning, Nathan.
Good morning, Helen. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to start off this morning with a song by my dear friend Sue Riley. This is called I Am the Thinker. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. If you ask me who am I am wisdom, I am light. I am more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. If you ask me what am I am beauty, I am joy. I am more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought. I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I can choose to be the light that brightens someone's darkest night. I'm so much more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life.
Wow. Okay, that was a quick ending. Thank you, Nathan. And yes, we do have the power to change our life, change our thinking, change how we show up in the world. So thank you for that. That was really fun. I was kind of bopping along and I'm like, oh my God, it's ended. Oh, thank you. I'll see you in a little bit. So to think about this, we have the power to choose what reality we want to see, we want to live in. And we can get very caught up in many different realities, other people's realities, the media's reality, our friends' reality, our community's reality. Here's the ultimate truth. The ultimate reality is one of love, joy, peace, harmony, grace, justice, abundance, compassion. Are you living from that reality? Because each one of us can choose this. We can embody these qualities, live from this place, be these qualities of the ultimate reality. For whatever we choose to think and focus on, whatever whatever we choose to actually be in our beingness will determine the world that we see. Whatever direction our mind takes and firmly believes in can form a new thought pattern within this atmosphere that we live in of pure potentiality. So I invite you to keep asking yourself, what else is possible? What else is possible? And have that open, curious mind. Because if we keep living as we have lived in the past, if we keep ourselves anchored to the past, then our future will be more of what we experienced in the past. If we continue to support the wars that go on in our own mind, we will continue to have war in the world. I invite you to take a stand for peace, love, compassion, justice, abundance, and harmony. I invite you to stand for the knowing that the incarnation of spirit is in all beings, and stand for the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the most innermost God is one God. And can you own, I am God? Not from the ego perspective, but from the place of I am love, I am light, I am power, I am peace, I am justice, I am compassion, I am pure potential. Therefore, I am God. You know, this continuous stream of absolute truth has run through all the great spiritual and philosophical teachings from times of antiquity. It is also now so beautifully being confirmed by science. So why don't we just all accept our light within, that that's who we are, the infinite creative power of infinite love, and then experience the gifts of expression that emerge from it. That's what it means to receive our good, to receive our good. To do this, we must live aligned with these values and take the right and perfect action from love only. And so it is. I am going to invite Nathan and our practitioner of the day, Judy Southern, in for our invocation song and affirmative prayer.
This is a chant of mine called Be Here Now. Be here now. Leave the future in the future and the past in the past. Be here now. Be present to the present. Be here now. Be here now.
As I am here consciously in this now moment, I am aware and I know that there is one beautiful magnificent divine energy. And powerful. And God is where I am. God is who I am. As each and every one. And so knowing this, I know there is so much good everywhere. It abounds all around me. I know I'm surrounded by and immersed in beautiful, infinite good that is always, always there for me. And so knowing this, I simply relax and I decide to just soak up all of my good, soak it up and bask in it, because I know it is there for me. There is so much good for me and for each of us, and we ought to have it. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for all the good, all the love, for the divine presence of God that expresses itself through me, through each of us. We are one. All there is God, and I know this. And in this moment now, I simply just take it in, knowing that this is the truth of my being, of who we all are. And so I let this go. I let it go as the expression of God that I am, and I let it be so. And I invite you to say with me, and so it is.
Be here now. Leave the future in the future and the past in the past. Be here now. Be present to the present.
Thank you both. That was lovely. Thank you, Nathan. Judy, your internet's a little bit unstable, so
I know, I keep seeing it. Hold on. I can't get rid of this message either.
Something's going on out in BC, in Cranbrook, BC.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't get rid of this chat message, Helen.
Oh, just click the arrow down.
The arrow. Oh, the arrow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little light.
There you are. Technology.
It all works. Yes.
It does.
Yes.
It does.
Mm-hmm. So how are you soaking up your good this month? I know one thing you're doing. Playing golf.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, well, I think through Science of Mind teachings and all the classes, I've come to know that there's good all around me and it abounds everywhere. And all I have to do is just tap into it. It's in everything, even the bad stuff, even the not so good stuff. There's still something good. And remember, Wayne Dyer used to always say to us, and maybe other people have said this too, I don't know whether it's his, but he says, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. And so I find myself needing to remind myself when things are not so good that actually is true. And interestingly enough, I read a story in the Science of Mind magazine, as chance may have it, and it was about the author had gone skiing and had ripped his knee out. He tore his knee, and he was in excruciating pain, and he just couldn't. He was just catastrophizing all the time, saying, moaning and groaning for 3 or 4 days, and then one day he decided to look at the rest of his body. And he said, my arms still work, my shoulders work, my mouth works, my eyes work, my other leg works, my foot works. And so he started to look at the rest of his body. And
Hmm.
as he went through this ritual of looking, or left the ritual of catastrophizing, and looked at the rest of his body, everything started to change. And in fact, the part of his knee that was hurting, it was just a small part, but he had made such a big deal of it that that's all he saw. And so now that he's looking at the rest of his body, everything started to change. And so his knee got better, he stopped catastrophizing, and life went on, he did heal. So to me, the message was clear, and it's been this for me also in my life. We all have a lot of stuff to go through. We're all here for our life lessons and how to live on purpose and that. And I've certainly experienced that as well. And that was just a great example for me of how change the way you look at things, and the things you look at really, really do change. So I love
Yes.
reading that.
That's brilliant. I love it. And it's funny because we all go through life experiences and traumas and difficulties, and we think we won't. We think we are the exception. Oh no, that won't happen to me. And it's we're all in this journey. We all have stuff going on. So yes, life is going to happen, and some are tough. Some moments are tougher than others, absolutely. And yet, if we can just bring our soul energy to the moment present in each moment. And I love Nathan's song about being in the present versus being anchored to something in the past, and allowing ourselves to be present to all of it, right? Not compartmentalizing. This is good, this is bad. Oh, I'll just shove the bad over here. No, all of it, because the more aware and the more attuned we are to all of it, the more we can bring ourselves to everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, from a place of love and compassion for ourselves and for others, right?
Mm-hmm. So Helen, I have a message for you
Oh,
from our community.
ah,
Uh-huh. And one of the first things I noticed when I did the newsletter, one of the first things I noticed was your signature, Reverend Dr. Helen Belleau. And I'm sure everybody else saw that too. So congratulations from
thank
our
you.
community to you. You've been a busy girl. You've been
I
a busy girl.
have, yes, and I feel very honored, and I thought I'd slip that in there and see who noticed.
Oh no, it was noticeable. And I also, from our community, I want to thank you. The community wants to thank you. And the board and the practitioners want to thank you for your unwavering service, your unwavering inspiration, and your love. Our
Hmm.
hearts are so full of gratitude for you and for us being the beneficiary of all you've given us. And we wish you well on your journey as you have wished us well on our journey. So thank you, Reverend Dr. Helen Belleau.
I just got goosebumps.
I hope so. My
Thank you.
earplug just
I
fell out.
think, I think you're the first one to really, I mean, Nick mentioned it this morning, but to really state it, and I feel so honored and so blessed, and thank you.
As do we all. So thank
I
you.
know. In a way, and I have to admit, it seems a little bit weird that that I just get my doctorate and I'm moving on, and um yeah. So it's like I just have so many mixed feelings about that, and I love and appreciate everyone. I'm so deeply grateful to everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hmm. Ah, okay, Judy, I'm bringing up the affirmation before I start the ugly cry. I'm like,
Oh, good.
I'm not going to cry today. Like I don't have no Kleenex with me. So I'm bringing up the affirmation, which is so perfect.
So I invite everybody to say this affirmation together. I'm only going to say it once because I can't hear you. I embrace life as it unfolds perfectly around me. Namaste.
Hmm. Thank you, Judy. Oh, thank you. And I will see you later in the service. I'm going to bring Nathan back for our feature song. Take it away, Nathan.
Thank you, Mom. This is a brand new song of mine. This is called What You Doing With Your Life. What you doing with your life? This great big life. What you doing with your life? This great big life. What you doing with your life? This great big life. What you doing with your life? This great big life. Do you see it as a gift or a penalty? Are you choosing joy or misery? Are you here and now or in your history? Are you choosing blame or accountability? It's up to you, you get to make that call. What you doing with your life? This great big life. What you doing with your life? This great big life. What you doing with your life? This great big life. What you doing with your life? This great big life. Are you choosing trust or uncertainty? Honesty or trickery? Empathy or apathy? Love, love, love or animosity? It's up to you, you get to make that call. What you doing with your life? This great big life. What you doing with your life? This great big life. What you doing with your life? This great big life. What you doing with your life? This great big life. What you doing with your life? This great big life. What you doing with your life? This great big life. What you doing with your life? This great big life. Yeah, what you doing with your life? This great big life. What you doing with your life?
Did you write that for me?
Of course I did. Of course I did.
It's like, oh my. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Nathan. I love it. Great song.
Thank you.
Oh, first of all, thank you, Margaret Ann and Doug and Revo. So nice to see you, and Jelaine and Lena, Linda. Thank you so much for the congratulations. And Judy, of course, thank you for your beautiful words. And thank you, everyone, for being on today and watching the service. Yes, today is my last service. And I was saying to Judy and Nathan that I have an alarm. I don't know how I set it on my phone. It is not a normal, click on, click off alarm. And it's birds chirping that goes on every Sunday at 5 a.m. And I'm like, I have to figure out how to turn this off because next Sunday I won't have to get up so early. And, a lot of people have been asking me, how am I feeling? And, how's it going? And quite frankly, it just feels a little bit surreal I have many elements going on in my life right now, so I've been a little bit preoccupied with getting things uh, completed with the center and still maintaining my other positions. So I think next Sunday when I wake up, it will hit me. And wow, it's quite something. So I will be creating a new mental pattern for my life, for myself, as will all of you, as Global Truth Center Toronto moves into and expands, evolves into its next expression of itself. And, in this, there's a lot of change and a lot of uncertainty, and everyone experiences their own level of fear of change. That's why comfort zones exist. You're not alone in these feelings surrounding change. And I think it's really, really important to recognize that. In fact, actually, neuroscience has shown that uncertainty feels similar to failure in our brains. And that's why so many people would rather avoid change, because of how uncomfortable the associated feelings can be. And, fearing change, it's part of the uncertainty of outcomes. We don't know, and our brains are certainly designed to find peace in the knowing. And when we don't know what will happen, we make up all kinds of scenarios. And, that's what creates the worry and the fear. So often we find it hard to move on when something known changes and we don't feel like we have control over the changes. And if we don't know how something is going to turn out, we may not rather try because the outcomes could be unfavorable. Here's what I'm going to say to that one. If we knew that no matter what, we are responding from love and compassion, we can expect great outcomes. We don't know what those outcomes will be. We don't know what the journey will be to those outcomes. So yes, it takes work to realize that at some point in life, everything is an unknown. And there are still many unknowns in life yet to be experienced. It's like Judy and I talking about, we think, oh, certain things wouldn't happen to us. Well, we don't know. There are many unknowns in life yet to be experienced. And so, I think the one thing that we can all count on is change in the world of form. There is a beginning, a middle, and a completion to everything in the world of form. And within that change, or all those changes, there is one consistent, benevolent love that is within us and all around us. So I invite you to really drop deep into your soul, and rest in that loving, benevolent place. Let it cradle you, support you. This is where you find peace. Our world has not plateaued into easy living right now. There's a whole lot of trauma on both the micro and the macro level. It's interesting. I had this download of compassion and aha last night, and it has to do with the U.S. And I think also I'm more attuned to things because I'm working in the U.S. More frequently these days. and hear a lot. I hear a lot about politics, social justice, um, diversity, inclusion. And so I was watching a show last night. It's a series on Apple TV called 5 Days at Memorial. Not an easy show to watch. It is a docu-series about what happened to this hospital during Katrina. And there's a whole backstory to it that I'm not going to get into, and an investigation into the death of people. And I'm not going to get into all of that. But here was my download, that since 9/11, there has been so much trauma in the US like it had never experienced before. From 9/11 to Katrina to other disasters, the forest fires, the riots, the shootings. I mean, it's all escalated. And when I was watching this show and I realized there was no help for these people, and I thought, no wonder people are angry. No wonder people are confused. No wonder people are hurting and looking for something outside of themselves, because that's what we're conditioned to do, is look outside of ourselves for some kind of social structure, government structure to help us. We in Canada live in a country with much more of a social structure for helping one another. And I thought, oh, I'm so sorry. I have such great compassion for the trauma that has happened to this particular country. And yes, I mean, there are many countries in the world that have been experiencing decades of trauma. I'm just focusing on this right now, and it never negates the trauma in other countries. And yes, Canada has their own trauma. But we are living in such uncertainty. And people were asking me this week, do you think things are going to get better or easier? Or, and I don't think so. In the world of form, I think there's more upheaval. And therefore, we haven't plateaued yet. We haven't plateaued. So our connection to our God self and the universe, to our souls, is vital. It is absolutely vital for us, so that we have the resiliency, the love, and the capacity to know that no matter what is happening in the outside world, I am God. I am connected, as Ernest Holmes says, to a power greater than I am in the universe. And I can tap into it, and I can use it, I can live from it, and I can embody it. So not just in your head, in your feelings, in your body, in your soul. That's what it means to embody. And it takes tremendous courage and action to live on the path of a spiritual being with self-responsibility and compassion for ourselves and others. And that's why it's so necessary. And we all have this opportunity to embrace a mindset that welcomes, that celebrates change. Our human brain is plastic, and plasticity refers to the ability of the brain to change gradually over a period of time. So we can mold new neural connections or strengthen already existing ones. It is also possible to weaken and break those old neural connections, those old belief systems. And what happens when such changes occur is that directly translates into change in our own consciousness and our capacity to step into greater possibilities. And this is what I'm inviting each and every one of you to do personally and with the center as it evolves into something new. And so I invite the board, the practitioners, the members to take on new tasks, to force your brain to form new neural connections and improve your own skill sets, which opens your mind to seeing yourself as having the potential that you can be anything you decide to be. And during this transition and time of change at the center, stay open, stay curious, keep asking the question, what else is possible here? What is the next evolution? There are some incredibly talented, conscious people, Rev Fred and the practitioners, board members, who can step up in a whole new way. And, you know, my desire is that that as I step out of the way, it allows you to step into a greater responsibility of evolving the center to where it wants to go next. And you know, I invite you also to resist the urge to draw immediate conclusions, because that's what our mind wants to do. Draw conclusions. Stay open. Stay committed to your spiritual practice. Stay committed to diving into your soul and living, being, not just living, being. It's all about the beingness. Be your God self. You know, I think of the changes over the last 15 years. From the first time I walked into the center, that first evening I walked into the center, that place on Queen Street stunk of garbage. It was dark. All the chairs were ripped and torn. It was dingy. I couldn't see anybody. And I'm like, what the heck did I just walk into? And I will say, if it was not for Rev Barbara's affirmative prayer, I probably would have left. Because I was like, ooh, what a dump. That's what I first thought. But it was the teachings that kept me there. And then you think of how many times that place morphed, how many times people, including myself and Tana's, other board members, Carmen, we painted. It changed colors a few times. Reverend Jonathan and Dane were involved in that. And we kept morphing it and morphing it and morphing it into the best that it could possibly be at the time. And you think of I think of the people that have walked through those doors, and just how amazing those people were. And then moving upstairs, and that was I have photos. I'm like, man, that was a beautiful place we all created up there. It was stunning, and unfortunate that we couldn't keep it. And we moved online. And then you think of all the horrendous Zoom calls and services on Zoom and different streaming services and all those things that we have been through together. And yet, the love for the teachings and the love for one another never changed. And that's what I want you to take away with you in your heart as it changes and morphs into something else, something better. And I'm so grateful to have been a part of the center for 15 years. Oh my gosh, 15 years. And what I've learned, how I've grown, how the people I've met, the classes I've taken, the teachings. Ah, I couldn't feel more blessed. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. And I do feel your love and your support, and um, you're supporting me in my next evolution. And the love that you have for these teachings and one another, I feel it. So thank you. Thank you for just being this amazing group of people that have shaped my life, shaped my family's life, will continue to shape me and nudge me into a deeper soul connection. And I think, I've been thinking, okay, so yes, I've moved on. I have different work positions. That's all great. Love what I'm doing. Love the people, the community that I'm working with. I feel spiritually fed. I feel emotionally supported, financially supported, intellectually fed. Absolutely. And then it's like, okay, because I never stop. What else is next? What else is next for me? And, I do want to take my dissertation, which was all on inner power aging, the consciousness of aging and rethinking how we age, and expand it, work with it, see see how that unfolds. But most of all, what I truly want and desire is that deep dive, a deeper dive into my soul. I want to go on a journey of dropping in so profoundly into the depths of my soul, at the very core of my consciousness, and come to know that part of myself so intimately, more intimately than I ever have before. And I know that that's as a result of being with you, being in these teachings. It's not about the stuff out there that I do. It's about the journey inward. And so I invite you all to take that journey inward for yourself. I just think it's such a valuable, worthwhile journey to embark upon. And so from my heart to your heart, I say thank you. I bless you. I love you all. I wish you infinite blessings on your journey. And until we meet again, and I know some of you that are in town, I will meet you sooner than some of you who are not. But know that I carry you in my heart. I carry this center in my heart. And I'm not saying goodbye. I'm just saying until we meet again, with much love and blessings to you all. Namaste. So, with that, I am going to bring up our giving affirmation. Our tithe this month is to such a worthy place. It is it's called the Greater Contribution. It was started by Karen Wright from Global Truth Center, Los Angeles. And what the Greater Contribution does is offer loans to women in Uganda to start their own businesses so that they're self-sufficient, they can support their families, and they can send their children to school. And so she had called me actually just before August 1st when I was figuring out who's our next tithe going to be to. And she said, we really need contributions. Because of inflation, which we're all experiencing. In Uganda, they've had to, instead of sending their children to school or having an abundance of food, they're just trying to survive because the inflation is exponential in Uganda. So I was happy to say we could contribute and support them. So with that, I will bring up our giving affirmation. I invite you to say it all with me. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give to my spiritual center, I recognize I am the flow of abundance I share with all life. As I give, I receive, and so it is. And you can send your donation to globaltruthcentertoronto.com. And the website is, that address won't be changing. So with that, I am going to bring Nathan back for our feature song. Please stay tuned for what's happening and the evolvement of the center. You'll be notified very soon. And again, thank you, and I love you.
And I think I can pretty safely say that we all love and appreciate you greatly, as you are seeing in all of the messages, Helen. So
yes, thank you, Nathan.
Yep. And thank you for choosing to shine even more brightly, even more fully. So fully support you on your journey.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So I'd like to finish this morning with another song of mine. This is called Get Happy. Pretty self-explanatory. If everything I need to do is about getting to a happier place, why don't I take a shortcut and just go get happy? Get happy, get happy. I'm taking a shortcut and just getting happy. Get happy, get happy. I'm taking a shortcut and just getting happy. If everything I need to do is about getting to a happier place, why don't I take a shortcut and just go get happy? Sing with me, everybody. Get happy, get happy. I'm taking a shortcut and just getting happy. One more time. Get happy, get happy. I'm taking a shortcut and just getting happy. Happy, happy. Go get happy. Happy, happy, go get happy. Happy, happy, go get happy. Happy, happy, go get happy.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. What a great song. Thank you so much, Nathan.
My great pleasure.
Many blessings to you. Nathan will be in Hamilton in January doing a show.
London.
London.
London in February and March.
Yes. Oh, in February and March.
Yep.
We will hear about that. And thank you, Judy, and thank you for your beautiful words today. Thank you all, and till we meet again.
Mhm.
Namaste.